Hey everybody, it's Dave. Thanks for joining. Appreciate each and every one of you who have joined this channel. Thank you all that have liked, commented, and subscribed to these videos, and all of you that are getting the updates and joining. Hey, I just wanted to share with you an interview from this past Friday Night Live. Jess, in the process, you may have known her as Jess from the PNW formerly, but Jess is a fellow Mounjaro who I have met at the DJ Discord, and she was kind enough to join me for an interview. I just wanted to share that interview with you all today at Friday Night Live. So without further ado, here's Jess in the process.
To the stream.
Thank you.
So Jess, I've followed your videos since I started Mounjaro, and perhaps not everybody else that's watching this has. So that's kind of why I like to do this, to help other people that follow me find out about you and vice versa. So can you tell everyone who's watching tonight a little bit about your channel, when you started it, and why you started it?
Sure. Well, my channel is called Jess in Process. It started out as Jess in the PNW or Pacific Northwest, but I changed the name recently because I feel like I am in process and trying to improve not only my weight, but many other aspects of my life and who I am. So anyway, that's the reason for the name change. But I started Mounjaro back in the beginning of October. I think it was the first week. And I started my channel maybe later that week or the following week. I had actually been watching Ben Davis or BJ Davis on YouTube, and I told him that I had always wanted to do a YouTube channel and I wanted to document my weight loss, but I was really nervous. And he said, just go for it. If you start it, let me know and I'll be your first subscriber. And he was. So that's why that was the kick in the butt I needed to start my channel. And I try and upload once a week. They're mostly just like sit down and chat, but I do try and, I mean, I had never done any editing or anything before. So I try and kind of teach myself something new every time. I think it was my last video, I actually switched editing software. So now I'm kind of learning a new software. The one I was using was more difficult and not as beginner friendly. And so it was taking me hours.
I think that's for a lot of people that just consume YouTube videos, don't make them. They don't understand how much time into it. Like I did a video, I hit, I think either 500 or 1,000, I think it was 1,000 subscribers. And I'm like, okay, I'm celebrating this, but I also want people to know that this was earned. I put a ton of work into these videos. So I tried to like lay it out for people just to give them an idea of the amount of effort it takes to put content out there.
Yeah, I remember that video that you did. And yeah, it takes a lot. And I know you're working a full-time job. I'm working a full-time job. I mean, you still have kids at home and I don't anymore. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot sometimes, but I'm enjoying it. And if the information I'm putting out there is helping anyone, that just is such an added benefit. But I think the real benefit will be looking back at these videos when hopefully, fingers crossed, I hit goal weight.
Absolutely. You're saying a lot of things that are sparking thoughts in my head. So to your point that you made about BJ Davis encouraging you to start, I just think that's such a great example of I think the importance that his channel has played to the community as a whole. We all have our own little communities, subsets of communities, but he's kind of brought everybody together in that Discord. And he's just the perfect guy to have done it. I call him the King Mounjarian. He's the king. He really is. And he's probably encouraged a lot of people to start. He's definitely encouraged me along the way as well. One of the things that you also talked about when you said that you had changed the name from Jess in the PNW to Jess in Process, I really, really like that, because it is a process. And you had your most recent video, I think you had titled it maybe Progress Over Perfection, maybe not titled it, but you had a little blurb about it. And I really like that, because when I think about my weight loss journey, I think like, what even is perfection? Like, I'm not even sure what that is. Like, there's so much that's been improperly wired in my brain about eating and weight gain and diabetes control. It's like, I'm not even sure what perfection is, but I definitely know that getting better every day and striving in that direction is really what it's all about. So I really appreciated that you had made mention of that and made that, kind of wove that into the name of your channel.
Yeah, Just in Progress was already taken.
Just in Progress?
Yeah.
That's what you were trying to get.
That would have been nice, but I think Just in Process is, I don't know. I was going for a rhyming.
I like it. Jess in Process. It rolls off the tongue. I said in my live stream the other night, whenever I used to see your screen name before the PNW, I always like read the PNW like Pinwa. So Jess in the Pinwa. And now I read it Jess in Process. I don't know. I get these goofy things, nicknames in my head, and that's just how I am. But I love it. I love the change. I also just love that you seem like a really genuine, caring individual, and I think that really comes through in your videos, that you're just a good human. And I think people are drawn to that, and I think that's a really, why you've seen success and growth in your channel. And so I'm excited as you continue on to watch you grow, both in the editing aspect of it, but also just the journey as well, which you've been so open with to share. I just think it's great.
Thank you. That means a lot. Especially, I mean, I see all that you do, and I think I made mention on your last live that it really astounds me, all the work that you're doing to help people stay on these medications, even if it's not Mounjaro, even though you don't have to do any of that because you're type 2. So, I mean, you'll get it, you know.
I appreciate you acknowledging that. I think that's really been a thing that's evolved about my channel. Is like, I started it because I felt like there was maybe a gap of informative stuff, especially from the male perspective, which I'm kind of learning that's kind of across the board with YouTube as it relates to health stuff. But
and also from type 2 diabetics, most of the channels that you see, people are just using it off label. So I think it's really important to see the effects on a diabetic person, because I know that you haven't experienced necessarily weight loss like some of us taking it off label have.
Yeah. That's one of those things. I actually posted a blog post today too, of kind of along the lines of it's frustrating because a lot of people lose weight really fast with this. I haven't lost as fast, but when I sit down and analyze it, like, I'm seeing success that I haven't seen in years and years and years. So on the evolution of the channel, it really evolved because I felt like as a type 2 diabetic, I had somewhat of a perspective that I could bring that was different than what other people were saying. It's like, I wish I would have had the chance to not become type 2 diabetic. I wish I would have had a medicine like Mounjaro to be able to prevent maybe, or at least slow the progression of insulin resistance into full-on metabolic disorder and type 2 diabetes. I just think it's important to advocate not just for yourself, but for all the people who can benefit from it. So it's a touchy subject with some, but it's definitely been a direction that I've taken the channel that I didn't necessarily expect when I first started these videos. You're not type 2 diabetic. So how are you navigating the anxiety of like the month to month getting your fill? And
I am not having much anxiety over it. There initially, when they very first changed the coupon, I did have some anxiety, but I was still earlier on in my journey at that time, because I think it happened like maybe mid-November or somewhere around then. And I had just started the beginning of October. So I was still like going into the Facebook group. There was a support group for people on Mounjaro, Facebook group, and I was going into that daily. And so reading other people's posts about just about them being super anxious was making me very anxious, and I had to stop. Yeah, I am still a member of that group, but I don't have I haven't had Facebook on my phone for a couple of years now, and I've stopped going onto it every day at home. So I do still hop on maybe once a week or twice a week, and I'll see the posts pop up on my just feed, but it's not, I don't go into the group anymore and read all the posts. And I kind of figure, I mean, kind of my motto is if you can't change it, then there's no use worrying about it. And if you can change it, then you need to and not worry about it. So I'm not a real big worrier. That's
good.
I don't know. The reason people like me, I think in general and at work, is I'm just kind of like cool, calm, and collected.
Good. That's a good position to have in current Mounjaro climate.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if it goes away, then there's nothing I can do about it. And you know, I really hope that that doesn't happen, but I've never had an issue with my pharmacy getting it. Not any this whole time.
That's awesome.
Except when it was on back order, but I've never had them like ask me if I was type 2 or question my coupon or anything like that. It was just the one time when it was back ordered and my doctor bumped me up to the 10 milligram and I skipped over the 7.5.
Do you have a plan if the rug got pulled out from under you, God forbid, but if it did, do you have a plan?
I've been filling my prescription every 3 weeks, which you're allowed to do using the coupon. And so I do have a little bit of
cushion
extra.
Good.
Yeah, so there's that. And then there is a compound pharmacy that rates really high, actually in my same city here, not too far from Seattle. And I did reach out to them on Facebook to see if they did the compound of the trizepatide or the semaglutide, and they didn't respond back to me on Facebook. So I'm probably gonna give them a call if I start becoming worried about it, or if it comes time where the coupon ends, which is in June.
Yeah.
Then I'll reach out to them and see how much that's gonna cost.
Yeah. Awesome. That's, you know, I think it's important for those who have who rely on the coupon for Mounjaro who are not type 2. I just think it's important to have a game plan. That's another thing that we've really focused with on this channel, especially in the last couple of weeks, is just, okay, the reality is the coupon sucks. And even if you have the first one, you're kind of at the mercy of how you're treated at the pharmacy. And pharmacies vary from, I mean, even a single pharmacy can vary from person to person that you're interacting with. So I just think that it's important that people are armed with the important information, that there are options. I think you've done a really good service to yourself, and that's nothing I've ever shared on the channel, but refill it every 21 days or every 23, whatever it is. You don't have to wait a full 30 days to refill your script. Get in there and refill it. That's a great idea. And then just knowing the backup options of the compound pharmacies, talk to your doctor. They usually have places that they can, write scripts for, and places that they trust. And then there's also the Wegovy and Ozempic factor. There are other options too that, potentially you could actually get some insurance coverage on for something like Wegovy if you're you're going for weight loss. There's other options too, like Saxenda, which is also a GLP-1. And a lot of people are coupling those drugs that are not quite as strong as Mounjaro with something like phentermine as well. So thank you for sharing your plan there. One other thing that I definitely wanted to ask you about, just because I've had a couple of people on the stream that are guys that have YouTube channels. You're, I think, actually the first gal that I've had on that has a YouTube channel, an active YouTube channel. I think it's more difficult for a woman to share her journey on YouTube. There's just more challenges. I feel like I've seen screenshots of comments and things like that, and I've had like a couple here and there, but I'm like, they're more just like arrogant or unintelligent statements and not just overtly mean. Am I on the right track there, or is that in my head?
I think that you are. Honestly, I have not had that many negative comments. I think I've only had one comment on one of my shorts that I did about, it was a short that I did just about walking on my lunch break. And I think he posted something along the lines of, after she got done doing that, she treated herself to a dozen donuts. And it doesn't bother me at all. But I've heard of other people having a lot worse comments. It just, I don't know if you have experienced this, but when my kids were growing up, every once in a while when they'd get in trouble or something, they would say, "You're the worst mom ever." And it just put a big old smile on my face. And I'm like, yes, I am doing something right.
That's the right attitude.
Yeah, because it's, I mean, you know, a parent's supposed to be a parent, but that's almost like the same feeling that I got when I read that comment that he left, is like, he knows nothing about me. Like, he can say whatever he wants. You know, the way that a comment like that would probably really hurt me is if it came from someone I knew.
Sure. Yeah. And not just somebody, some keyboard junkie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, to kind of wrap it up, your channel, your persona, your presence here on YouTube, I think is part of what makes it great. You're a kind-hearted, sincere person, and you represent, I think, what many people enjoy about this community that we've kind of created here on YouTube. And I think that's why people are drawn to you. So thank you for coming on the stream, and thank you for sharing a little bit about your channel. It's Jess in Process, and that will be linked in the description below. Jess, are there any other social media call outs that you want to share?
I had an Instagram, and I haven't changed my name there yet. So I think I can't change it until the beginning of February, but then that channel or that page will also be Jess in Process. Right now, still Jess in the PNW. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I try and hop into the Discord a couple times a week and say hi. But
it's usually me saying, "Can we do an interview today?"
Yeah. And I did hop onto your website. Congratulations on your website and your forum that you have there. So yeah, that's really cool. I'll try and pop in there too every once in a while.
Yeah. I hope that it can be supplemental to something like BJ's Discord. Like I told him when I launched it, I was like, I'm not trying to compete with what you're doing here, and I'm not going anywhere. I love the Discord, and I've spent a lot of time promoting it on my channel here because I just think it's so great. But there's just other people that just aren't ever going to go on Discord because they don't know it. They're not comfortable with it, but they'll go to a website. So hoping to bring some people over there that maybe are a little averse to going to another social media platform. But thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate it. Jess, thank you so much for joining. I hope that you have a great rest of your day here, and appreciate you making time and bringing our schedules together.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Take care. It was great to meet you.
All right. You too.
Bye-bye. Jess in Process.
Jess in process. She was so kind to join me on the stream, and you know, as I said on a Friday night live stream, she's everything you would expect her to be if you've seen her videos. Just very sweet, very chill. If you haven't checked out Jess's channel, it'll be linked in the description of this video. She's Jess in Process on YouTube, Jess in the PNW on Instagram. A couple things that she touched on in this interview that I thought were really, really helpful, especially for those who are struggling with the Mounjaro coupon or the Mounjaro copay savings card, is that get your prescription filled every 3 weeks right now. After 4 months, you've got a 1 month cushion because you can fill this thing per the card terms every 3 weeks, and usually insurances will let you do that as well. So that was a good tip. Also on the Facebook groups and things like that, protect your mental health. You know, if you're watching things, reading things that are driving up your level of anxiety, whether it be about side effects or whether it be about the scarcity of the medication or the difficulty getting the different doses or the coupon going through every month, just stop reading that stuff. Don't let it control you. And I just love Jess's disposition, especially as it related to the jerks that can sometimes comment on videos and stuff like that. You know, don't let people hurt you that don't have that power. But thanks, Jess, for joining the stream. So appreciate you, and appreciate each and every one of you who have watched this video here. Hope that you'll like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you on the next stream.